Since we're on Dreams Talk Radio. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the group that's here right now. We might have some more folks joining us a little bit later. But thank you, everyone, for being here today. And for our last meeting, before we head down to Mount Adams this weekend, starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday at least, maybe even longer than that, where we are, the UFO I Team is involved with the Wade brothers, Tim and Philip Wade, who have Ambition Pictures, have decided that they are going to do a documentary on UFOs and Sasquatch down at Mount Adams, because that's where everything happens, supposedly, down there. Sam, you're up and running, so try that one again here. Oh, in a few moments, I think it'll probably kick in for you just to get the batteries back. So we'll be going back live on Facebook, folks. That's what we're trying to do here. But right now, you can hear us around the world. So thank you for joining us. And what we're going to do this weekend is we're going down to the southern central part of the state of Washington in a beautiful volcano called Mount Adams. And they have so many UFOs and Bigfoot sightings in that general area that James Gilliland has actually created a ranch, he calls it, down there, where he invites folks to show up pretty much any weekend during the summer to actually witness these flying lights around the mountain, some of them possibly going into the mountain, and all the orbs also that people are noticing and photographing around the foothills of the Mount Adams area, as well as the East City Ranch area, which is in Trout Lake, Washington. So that's what we're going to do this weekend, because we are going down with the Wade brothers and with Michael Beers, who is our Bigfoot specialist here at the UFO I Team, and he is going to lead an expedition to try to find Bigfoot encounters and or evidence as well this weekend. And we're going to, go ahead, Lee.
Quick comment. I was Jacques told me about this missing 411 movie. It was kind of interesting. I got into some previews. But the Pacific Northwest is the capital for Sasquatch in this country. And the reason is it goes after more moist environments. It is happening on the East Coast, and up towards the Great Lakes, but it's wetter there. What they really like is going after rainfall areas between the 50 and 80, 100 or so like that.
Inches a year.
Inches per year. That gives a moist environment, food, whatever. But the Pacific Northwest is the capital in this country, of course, and it just goes from Bellingham all the way down to the gorge,
right,
to the Columbia River, and that whole
including Mount Adams. That's exactly right.
Right in there.
Matter of fact, Michael Beers acknowledges the many Sasquatch sightings in the Olympic Peninsula, the Kitsap County area of the state of Washington, which is on the coast of Washington, and also in Skagit County. Whatcom County, which is kind of in the north middle of the state. But also, Michael Beers believes that probably the major habitat where you can actually experience up close the Bigfoots might be around Mount Adams, where we are headed this weekend. And that's one of the reasons why we are headed there.
A real key thing, though, going after these creatures, beware. People have disappeared.
Yes, there are. David Paulides' books are all about that. Well, not necessarily Bigfoots. He doesn't say Bigfoots, but people are disappearing in national forests, right?
And it isn't just the big. There's this other. I'm terrible at names, but there's other creatures similar to Bigfoot that aren't too friendly with that, according to these people. But I have not experienced any of this stuff, but it's very interesting. Just be cautious when you're out there.
Are you talking cryptids, basically? Different kinds of things other than like Dogman,
it's similar species of Bigfoot, Yeti, swamp creatures. There's some thing starts with a T, a Terra, whatever the heck, and something starts with a G. I can generally get the first initial on names, but my brain goes
close
if it
enough.
had numbers, I could get it every time. But Anyway, that's why my brain works.
Close enough. Well, yeah, so that's what we will be doing this weekend. It's going to be exciting. Probably going to be hotter than heck. I hope it rains maybe one night because then that might clear out some of the smog and the smoke. But we will see what we can muster up while we're down there with the Wade brothers and with James Gilliland at the ECETI Ranch. At one point, we are going to split up into teams this weekend, and we are actually going to have a three-way investigation at the same time. So some of us are going to stay at ECETI Ranch and view the mountain from the south area, south of the mountain. Probably about 7 miles away is where ECETI Ranch is located. Then the other team is going to be on the north side of the mountain at a place called Takalaka Lake. And those folks down there will be having a different view of the entire mountain as well. And then we're going to actually have a third team that is climbing the mountain that will be climbing up with our intrepid guide, James Lee Strauss, and his team will be going up the mountain with GoPros and cameras and all the gear that they need to try to see if they can capture UFOs and or Bigfoot. So what we're going to do between those three teams is communicate with one another through walkie-talkies and be able to have some line of sight communication with potentially laser beams if we can bring our little lasers and not shine them in the air, of course, that we would mess up any commercial or military flights, but that we can communicate with one another from three different angles covering the entire area of Mount Adams. And let's take a quick little poll here of who else might be willing to join us down at Mount Adams this weekend of the UFO I Team. Anybody else gonna? Oh, looks like we're up and running on Facebook, huh? Do you think the microphone is picking? Well, you can ask folks if they're picking us up verbally. But yeah, I'm going.
I'm going.
Kathy's going.
Saturday motorcycle ride.
Kevin and I are going.
You have a Saturday motorcycle ride. What does that mean?
That means I get on my bike Saturday and see how much fuel I can burn in that direction.
Oh, that's what I was asking. So you might be able to head down there with us?
We'll see how life ends up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's my
So
direction.
he goes one day at a time. That's
Yeah.
for sure. That's Lee for you, for sure. And Sam and Kevin?
Yep, we'll be there.
Okay, they will be there. Wonderful. And I
We've
know...
got a couple telescopes and Japanese clear cameras and stuff to bring.
Oh, did you hear that, folks?
Yeah.
So that was Sam and Kevin are going to bring a telescope or two and a FLIR camera, night vision kind of thing. What else? Is that about it?
Oh,
Two things?
we've got a few things.
A few things to bring. Wonderful. Well, that'll be
Yeah.
exciting stuff. Matter of fact, Kevin has provided me with a wonderful gift tonight through Sam of this beautiful, I haven't even unboxed it yet, but I'll show you the box because I like the box. It's just kind of like nice and compact. This in there is a adapter that will allow me to take moving pictures on my iPhone connected to my binoculars.
Wow, nice.
Won't that be nice? I mean, I've always wanted to have that capability because when we go on sky watches, I'm kind of like the guy who lays in the gravity chair all the way back and relaxes and stares at the sky with my binoculars. I'm kind of like, one of the spotters out there. But I always thought because I do see things periodically that I point out to the rest of the folks, and sometimes by the time I see them, they're gone and no one can see it. So if I can record while I'm looking, that would be wonderful. I'm going to look forward to that.
Do you have digital binoculars?
Digital?
Yeah, where you can plug it to your...
No.
It doesn't
Okay.
need to be.
I
This-
wish I did.
Yeah, this mounts to it, and it can mount to our telescope, and also has remote.
Very
So,
cool. Wow.
It has remotes. Isn't that cool?
So we can
So-
prop the binoculars up and
We can prop it up on a little tripod there, and I can really lay back and relax. With this is probably the most relaxed Skywatch we've ever attended at this point here, with all the cool gear that we've got.
Stuck on it too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get a little motor so we can move it around, you know. Well, so let's go around the table and have people who want to talk next kind of do some stuff that we want to discuss, and then we will maybe, if we have time, do a book review. Matter of fact, if you have a book that's that you would like to talk about, also, please take your turn in doing that as well.
And we have Dave Scott on here. He says
Hey,
that
Dave.
he can hear us.
David!
And
How about for Spaced Out Radio, Dave Scott, folks?
right.
Yeah.
Dave.
Matter of fact, Dave is being so kind to the UFO I Team by allowing us to come up to the Caribou Paracon coming up this end of September. I believe it's September 28th. And don't forget to get your tickets early if you're going to go up to Canada to see Grant Cameron at Caribou. Now, Caribou, by the way, is Cariboo, like boo. Caribou Paracon. That's sponsored by Spaced Out Radio and the Paranormal Questers or Ghost Questers up there, Mike Morin's group. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name there, Mike. I'll get it next time. But it'll be a great event, and the UFO I Team will be there as well, doing a Skywatch presentation for the folks that have come probably all across Canada and the United States just to see Grant Cameron, who, by the way, seems to have his pulse right on the center of what's going on right now with disclosure. Did anyone happen to see what happened with Tom DeLonge this week?
No.
No. Was he indicted?
I was trying to throw it to somebody so I didn't have to talk all night long. No, Tom DeLonge has actually come out and being interviewed again. I mean, you know, he was hot there from October of last year through December, when the New York Times actually confirmed on a front page article above the fold that UFOs exist. Believe it or not, for the first time in the history of this known part of the universe anyway. And he's been gone for a while. I haven't seen him, but he's back. And what he was talking about in the news, mainstream news, he says the mainstream now is actually looking at the UFO subject with a non-ridicule factor now, which he's never seen before. And I agree with him, because that is kind of strange that the mainstream media, if you haven't noticed, is being interested in this idea of extraterrestrial life and maybe the presence of aliens on the planet without making fun of it. Matter of fact, someone tell the folks out there about our own article in the Daily Herald that they did on us back a few months ago.
Yeah, it was excellent. We were interviewed. They took some videos, and the article came out with May 8th in the Everett Herald, and it was I thought it was balanced. I didn't think they were trying to make fun of us, and they basically were saying these people meet, and they interviewed, I think, Mary and Terry and I think Michael, and they basically had an accurate representation of our group. It was actual real journalism for change on this subject. And I think it got picked up by the AP and the Associated Press, and then it seemed like we were getting
United Press International, UTI.
Yeah, we were getting all kinds of people contacting us after that. I remember people coming to our meetings. It was pretty busy at that time. That was back in May of this year. And I just want to add that my sister actually told me about this. She's a news director at Kixie, and I just saw her this Sunday. And
Kixie Radio?
Yeah.
KIXI, nice.
And she told me about this article in the Miami Herald of a Republican candidate, or trying to be candidate for Congress from Florida. Her name is Antina Rodriguez, and she basically, through several interviews, have basically come out and said that I am an abductee since I was 7. And she had 2, a male and